We're back on Duskhunt HD. We've made it to level 22 without dying. Sorry, my cat's in my lap right now and he's being a big baby. You better not bite me. I'm gonna get you. Yeah, we did Wailing Caverns yesterday, just impromptu, just saw a group for it, so today we're gonna do Deadmines. I've never done it before. Oh, somebody just died as I just came in. See, how's my inventory looking? I almost died to Big Betty, or whatever that pig's name is in Red Ridge. Let me say. See some people talking about like cooking instead of anything in the chat. Hello there, Mr. Kitty Cat. How are you? How are you? My cat's sitting on my lap. Sometimes he bites me though when he wants something. I need Briar Thorn, I need Blackmouth. Let's see, what level would you get to, Billy? 27, dang. Yeah, I got 4 levels. I was kind of only expecting to get 2 levels, but for some reason I just felt like playing all of it. Part of me is like, do I go to Red Ridge and get quests? Or do I just wait for a Deadmines group? Sounds good. Okay, let me head out to Deadmines then. At 1 of 3, but I need some. Have some oil Blackmouth. I'm gonna have to do some fishing. I'm probably gonna do Deadmines. I'm gonna do some fishing. I need alchemy leveled up because even these healing potions aren't doing anything anymore. Looking for 2 more damn neat tank slash heal. Yeah, I think that's the only thing in Classic is like, I think that the threat could be handled better. I wish there was like a little under every mob. Maybe only in a dungeon. Like maybe if it was only in dungeons for like a little threat meter on every mob or every player that showed you your relative threat. And they could do it since there's only 5 players in a dungeon. There would be 5 versions of threat. Like there could be, you know, like light green, dark green, yellow, orange, and red to kind of show your place on the threat meter, so you kind of knew like, oh, if I'm orange, I'm the closest one or something. I don't know. That might not be the best, but there's a couple of ways they could do it. But I think showing the player how much threat you have is always a good thing. Maybe there's add-ons that do it, but go to Brook or Deadmines. Looking for a casual be able to help people. I would love to do the melee. Dude, people are dying all the time as well. I'm here, bro. Where they at? Where are they at? Yeah, apparently it's supposed to get like really, really cold here. Like insano mode cold. Like 2 degrees. I'm not used to that, you know, I'm from the United States and I'm from like a southern state, and like anything below like 65 degrees is cold to me. So what happens if I go in here? I hear people mining, which scares me. Mr. Phoenix? Where's the meeting stone for? There it is. 17 to 26. It's crazy how high level this is in comparison to the rest of the zone. Maybe the plan today will be to get to 24 or 25. We got a lot of quests in Red Ridge to do, and I'm sure a lot of them are going to be green. This guy hasn't really said. Could do some fishing for some oily black mouse while I wait. Do my fishing up. Maybe kill a couple murlocs to get that quest. Where's my room? There it is. Looking for one more Deadmines heals. Okay, so we got a tank. Let's need a heal. So now I'm just gonna chill. I wonder if people level up multiple tunes on hardcore at the same time. It is the morning, so I gotta be careful. I gotta break the morning curse. I don't wanna die in the beginning of the stream like I always do. 6 deaths. 6 deaths in. This is gonna be the one to make it to 60. I believe. I wonder where you train fishing at. I know cooking and fishing, to get the higher ones, you have to go to like out of the way towns. fish, but not any slitherfin. My string will cook 20. It's like I don't want any like extra stacks of these because I'm not using them. The alchemy plants. I need to find a school of oily black mouse is what it is. I think there's one right there, but that's like where all the Murlocs are. I mean, I guess they're green at this point, but let's just try it. Let's go for it. Oh no, there's still crawlers here. We should be safe. I think one spawns like right here though. Yeah. That's not even a pool. That's a rock sticking out of the ground. Okay. I thought from the view distance it was a freaking... See, look, it looks like the fish like swimming around. Well, not as much from here. I just look dumb. Let me try to stop explaining myself. And I guess this is extra food for my bear. I don't know if level affects his like hunger or if it's like the amount of combat or whatever. Because when we were doing Wailing Caverns, I was having to feed him like every freaking second. It was insane. Like probably every 2 or 3 minutes I was having to feed him, where it's like, I don't know if it was because of the dungeon, because like I've never had to feed him that much in the open world. Oh, rip. F. Right. Forgetting where my buttons are. Is oily blackmouth rare? I guess you need to find a school of it, but I really don't like run along the coast for like a minute to find a thing. I saw the same fishing thing there twice. You can fish bags. Oh, really? I better fish me an 8-slot bag here to make up for this Murloc quest. What can I even get to my fishing to? Just 75? 40 plus 3. Does that mean it's 37 and then the 3? Or is it saying it's 40 plus the 3 makes it 43? I don't know where the fishing trainer is in any of the alliance zones. I don't think Darnassus even has a fishing trainer. Stormwind probably does. Wait, somebody died? I didn't see it. Rocklisk food. Somebody probably died in wetlands, trying to do the wetlands run. Or skip. Update y'all's hardcore then. I did just update it. I hope there's not another one. Finally, one oily blackmouth. And I think with 2 of them, I can create 1 potion. I'm hoping our group found a healer. He hasn't really said anything to me though, so I don't know. I'm trying to get as many oily black mouse as I can before we do this dungeon. Because I was going to have to fish anyway, and it's, well, might as well just come out here and fish. Hard group. So we only need 1 more anyway. We just need a healer. What are the healers in Classic? Priest, and then you can kind of heal on Druid, Shaman, and Paladin. Maybe Paladin is a healer in Classic, or like more of a healer. I don't know. I really don't know the Classic. That is one of the things about Classic, is like for the like raiding content stuff, I've never really done it, but it's kind of like Paladins just aren't as good as tanks as Warrior, and they don't do as much damage. So it's like you can go those things, but like you're kind of like inherently gimping yourself, which is fine. Like, you know, a lot of the Classic community, especially the hardcore community, doesn't really care about that. It's like, oh, just have fun. Because I think it would be fun to be like an enhancement shaman, you know, or like a tank shaman, which I guess enhancement and tank shaman in Classic are kind of the same thing. But, you know, because like in live, it's very much like, oh, if you play Blood Death Knight, you are the tank. And if you play the other 2 specs, you are damage. And it's like, I don't know, I think it's kind of fun to be able to kind of like be more open with the character, like kind of build it, you know. Like, maybe I want to be a tank, but I also can do a little healing, you know, on the side. So if there's like dungeons where, you know, there's mobs that have cleave, or there's mobs that ignore aggro as like part of their gimmick, you know, like, that would be really useful. But then you also run into the issue where you could just fully change your character every single time you want to go to a specific dungeon. So you'd have to like balance that to make it where your character isn't like infinite, or your character isn't stuck in place. Okay, we're still looking for a healer. Because if your character is like stuck in place, then that's not fun. Because if you make a mistake, or if you want to try something else out, it's not enjoyable to be like, oh, I have to remake the character. But then it's also not fun if the player can just change their character for every challenge they go into, and then just like do better at the challenge. I guess you could argue, well, that's part of the game, is knowing what works best for the challenge. But again, a good game has like an idea that's fun to ponder, and then a execution of that ponderation, which is the gameplay itself, like the actual player's input. And you want to balance the two. You want a player to theorize their gameplay and have fun theorizing what they're going to do, and then not only theorize it but execute it. Classic WoW does this very good in a lot of ways, but I think that it's hard to do in RPGs as to actually give the player like true player choice and freedom without limiting them to, or without I guess, how do I say this, like nice. You don't want to limit the player's choice, but you don't also want to make it too easy for them to change their choices on a whim and beat the challenge, you know, because if a player's played a lot and they're really good, you know, they'll know what to bring where and why. And it's like if you just allow them to do that every single time, you know, maybe you add another system that makes it kind of like not encouraged to change a whole bunch, right? Because WoW kind of does this where whenever you want to change your talents, it costs gold and the price increases every time. And it's like, I think it's a decent incentive to not change your character too much, you know, because it's like, oh, I can do it a couple of times, but you kind of just want like a nice, balanced out. You kind of just want like a nice, balanced out character overall, because you don't want to go change your talents 500 times. You might have to for like a really high up there raid. But other than that, 17 Dark Shore. Probably the Sirens. I think I got lucky with the Sirens, actually. I mean, I played it pretty well. You know, I wasn't sneaky with them. I wasn't trying to... You know, my ego was pretty small with them. I only stayed to that very first part of the cave. I think that's the big thing with caves. Usually caves will have like an opening sequence. And if you ever have like a quest in a cave, a lot of times you can find one of the resources in the opening sequence. And so, you know, it takes a little more time, but what's better? You know, 200 hours on a character that hits 60, or 100 hours on a character that dies at 44. You know, it's like, you gotta pick, and so... You know, I'd rather stick to the entrance of the cave, you know, a relatively safe area where I can just farm out that one mushroom that spawns, you know, 3 or 4 times. Instead of try to risk myself going into all the different corners of the cave. Looks like we're still looking for a healer. I didn't even know Classic WoW had like birds. You know, we got 4, we just need a healer. Like I said, I don't know how important it is that it's like a priest or... You know, I guess we can't have shamans, but... But yeah, I'm not sure how you design that right, because I think the money system in WoW works out a decent bit, but I don't know if it's the best incentive, because every time it doesn't feel good to be like, let me go change my traits for this dungeon, because you come up with a smart idea of like, oh, this trait will be way better in this dungeon, and so then you go switch it out, and obviously the game is doing that, right? Because if you just can switch things willy-nilly, then there's no difficulty anymore. Well, I mean, like, you still have to execute it, but, like, is that enough? Like, if a player is really good and they know how to execute, 95% of the time, like, really well, are those players going to mess up? I mean, I guess you could argue eventually they might mess up, but I think if somebody plays correctly 99% of the time and makes a mistake 1% of the time, that's not reflective of their gameplay, right? Because obviously consistency matters more than... That's why, like, upset wins are always upset wins, is because it's an upset because it's out of the ordinary, it's unexpected. Doesn't mean it's not warranted, not really saying that, but just saying that an upset win a lot of times is, like, not really the good play of the team that got the upset, but more of a misplay of the well-performing team that made a critical mistake. But I guess that's what it is. It's just a capitalization of mistake. But that's a whole tangent. But anyway, getting back to, it's like the gold system works in WoW a little bit, but every time the player has to go change their talents, and it costs more, and they just like sigh, and they're like, and it's like having it cost money is kind of irritating more than anything. It doesn't feel like a really nice balance. I know some games do like tokens where you can get like talent rebuild it like tokens. I don't know if there's a good way to do that without making it feel really like gamey or like arcadey, or like just like an extra hassle. It's like, well, I could just have the money system instead of making it go up every single time. Have it scale to the player level. But then you could argue, it's like, well, if it's scaled to the player level, and if a player hits 60 and they just have all this money that they can do whatever with, does it really matter? So, sure, if it's 100 gold at level 60, does that even matter to somebody who's like playing at 60? They could probably just afford that because there's no reason. You're not going to buy anything else. So you could time gate it, but then again, like, would that feel good as the player? Probably not. But what's the alternative, right? Because if it's money based or anything else like that, it can still just be farmed. So if you make it weekly based, like a token, oh, you get one talent respec token per week, and you have to do this quest or something to get it. So you kind of have to go out of your way to get it. It's there, it's available for you, but you have to get it. A week sounds like a little bit too much. What if it was like every 72 hours? Every 72 hours you can get a respec token. I guess you log into the issue of like people just not playing until they get, oh, I want to do this dungeon, but I can't go into the cave because I don't have my respec token. I'll just wait until Thursday when my respec token's up. That's really lame. Yeah, that would suck really bad. My fishing's not going up every single time now. I didn't even realize. Oh, I'm at 75. Okay. Do we still need a healer? Let me put my sword back on and run over to Moonbrook. Looking for one more Deadmine heals. Yeah, we still need the healer. I don't know how close we are to finding the healer. Yeah, I wonder what you do, because money might just be that they decided that that was the best thing they could do that didn't feel like terrible. Maybe there could be a secondary resource that's not money that a player has to get. But I don't know. I don't know how you do it. Alright, let me see. Okay. Apparently there is a fishing trainer in Stormwind. My cat is sitting on my lap and he has like no perception of like falling off. Like every single time that he sits in my lap, he like sticks one of his legs out to like stretch and starts falling off of my lap, and then he has this look on his face like, huh? What's happening? And it's like, bro, don't you... I mean, I know you don't understand like gravity, but you know, I feel like you would kind of just like instinctively know, like, let me not like fall. Like, let me not, you know, even like even a bug is like, hey, let me not walk on the side of a cliff. That would be pretty bad.
See you later.
Actually, I don't know, like, if a bug fell off a cliff, would it do anything to them? Is this on? Okay, it is on. That's how I'm like, I'm getting kind of complacent. I'm using the aspect of the cheetah, and now I feel like it's not even on when it is on. So now I'm getting like used to this speed, even though I was enjoying it so much. Like, oh, thank goodness it's not the normal speed. And now I'm like getting so used to it that I'm like, oh, I wish I was faster. Died to Princess. Yeah, man, Princess is, I played on, did I have more Bruiseweed? I did. Oh shoot, what server did I play on, man? It wasn't Bloodsail, it might have been on Obsidian Edge. No, it was Era. But it was like a dead server. It's like, it's one of the other servers that's like dead. I played Alliance. And I just kind of went through all the starting zones, so like I've kind of done them all. I think I only got 1 to 5 on Night Elf though, because I don't remember doing like the Furbolg Cave and any of that. But yeah, I got to 10 on Human, and I wasn't really doing hardcore, like really, but I was just like, let me see, like what it's. Let me see what it would be like if I tried to do hardcore, you know. And then I did 1 to 10 on Human. Nice, got a little follower bot going on. to dogehype.com. Yeah, man, I'm going straight to dogehype.com. Definitely doesn't sound like some 1992 like LimeWire type of stuff going on there. I feel like if anybody's streaming on Twitch, like no matter their age, I feel like they're not dumb enough to click on that. Like, just being straight up. Like, no matter how bad they want, like, customized chats or whatever, or customized, like, things in their chat, I don't think anybody is dumb enough to do that. Like, just straight up. Who knows? Maybe I'll click on it for fun. Just blue screen my computer. Just screw it all up. People are dying and I'm not seeing. Here, do you just want this chair? And I can go get another one. Because you're like halfway falling off of this thing. Come on. Come on. You want the chair? Better not bite me when I give it to you. There we go. Alright. Be right back. Gotta go get a chair because my cat stole this one. Even though it was like a follower bot, these alerts are kind of low. Need to like figure out the setting to like up the sound. I wasn't here. Did we find a healer? Nope, still looking. It's gonna be scary when I play Rogue because I played Outlaw Rogue in live and I actually thought it was really fun, but that was in like BFA, and for some reason their design seems to be completely changed the specs every single expansion except for the ones that they like. So they say they listen to player feedback, but I really don't know. Like, I thought Outlaw was extremely fun for like live WoW, for like what it was. You had to like roll the bones and like got like random buffs, and some were better than others, and it's like, I don't know, I think that's kind of a fun concept. I know it's not the most like competitively viable or whatever, but I thought it was like just a really fun system, you know. Sometimes you get like the really good buff and sometimes you don't. I imagine that would be like a horror to do in PvP or like PvP or like raiding, but it was enjoyable. Maybe it's just they don't even design it as like a raiding spec. But man, I had a good time with it, and it seems like they kind of just change it constantly. Recipe: brilliant small fish, rainbow fin core. Increases fishing by 100 for 5 minutes. What if you're at 300? Can you increase it to 400? What does that even do? You're just guaranteed to get the best stuff in the game. Like,
Safe travels.
Hey there.
okay, so he can give me journeyman, but he can't give me the next ones. Looking for one more DM tank or heals. I bet you our tank was like, I can just heal at this point.
Hello.
This rainbow fin albacore, it doesn't give you the buff to the
Farewell.
stamina and spirit buff, so I don't think it's worth it. What is that one dungeon in Daenerys with Gazrilla, and you have to get the hammer? You have to hit it. That one's really fun. The sand trolls, I like that one quite a bit. I'm trying to remember which ones I've done. Obviously Ragefire. It's so funny going back to Ragefire because as a kid, and you go to Ragefire, I was so scared of Ragefire. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a dungeon. And it was like a, you know, it was like the biggest thing in the world to me. And I was always creating new tunes, so I was always doing Ragefire, and it just like, it never lost its appeal to me. And now you go to Ragefire as like an adult, and it's like, obviously you still got nostalgia kick, but it's just really funny to like go into it now, and it's just like some trogs and some orcs, and you're like, oh okay, like still cooler than my WoW. I mean, I'll always harp on that Valhalla dungeon they did. That one was so bad. Balls of Valor or whatever. I know people really like that one. I don't know, just like the theme of it and everything, it just didn't do it for me. You're like in like the mess hall, and then you have to go fight some like lady who's like on the other wing. You have to go to like fight some like sorceress or something. I can't even remember. I don't even remember. That's how bad it was. It was like she didn't like you or something like that. She had to test you, and then you have to go fight Fenrir for some random reason. You have to go. Oh, there's Fenrir, like the lightning wolf of Nordic legend, who's supposed to be like a literal god. I mean, I know it's like WoW lore, so it's like kind of changed, but and then it's just like the wolf model, but like scaled up, and he's got like a scar or something. And then I remember like when you get him down to like 40% health, he has to like go like, he pounces on each player, and then like he has to like eat a carcass or something like that. It was just really bad. It wasn't cool at all. And there was so much dialogue in the dungeon. They talked so much. Like, I'm curious how Mythic Pluses worked for that dungeon, because you just had to sit there and just like listen to them talk so much. Alright, maybe I should play with two hands again. guess I'll just go to Moonbrook and I wonder if I can actually get my fishing up. Wait, am I at 148 herbalism? I have some King's Blood. I think that's like the next tier, but kind of in a rut. This Black Mouse stuff. You get at least 3 auto shots each jump. Oh, are they talking about the kite? Or, oh, like jump over a fence to cut for kiting? I'm not sure. Looking for one more Deadmines tank/heals. It's funny how the other day everybody wanted to do Deadmines. It was just like Deadmines. And now it's like we're struggling to find a 5th for Deadmines. I guess everybody's tired of doing Deadmines, or doesn't need it. I'm surprised though, because like Wailing Caverns is lower level, but I guess that doesn't really matter because of the meeting stone. I don't know, bro. Like I get the meeting stone is like, I get the meeting stone is like the level in the game, and like in hardcore, it's kind of like, oh, if you want to go in solo, you probably want to go a couple levels above, or if you're playing hardcore just in general, you probably want to go a couple levels above just to make sure nobody dies and stuff like that. And like I get it, but I think that when it's called hardcore, I kind of picture like it's not just about having one life, right? Like you also want it to be challenging, because you can very easily just like level over things. Like you can just very, very easily level over things and fight things that are green and do quests that are green and be really safe and cautious to 60. And it's like you can play that way in hardcore. And I kind of like that there's a range. You know, you can be kind of a blitz it player that plays fast, plays loose, and makes a couple of mistakes along the way, or maybe not mistakes, but like does a couple of dangerous quests and events along the way. Or you can play really slow, doing all your professions, you know, consistently, keeping up to track with everything, fighting mobs that are either same level as you or below you. But I kind of like the idea of like forcing the player into challenging encounters, because I feel like that should be the essence of hardcore. Is not that I know the one life is the main rule, but I really feel like to enforce that as the main rule, you kind of need backing rules that like that kind of build it up, right? You need to force the player into tough situations to put their one life at risk. Because I almost think it would be better to like make it where you have to do certain things at certain levels, not even just with dungeons, but like certain quests at certain levels and stuff like that in hardcore. But if you make too many rules, then it's not going to be fun. So it's a weird balancing act, right? I mean, sure, like one life, I'm only 22 and I haven't gotten to 60, so maybe I shouldn't be talking. You know, maybe I'm, you know, I have heard that the higher level dungeons get a lot harder, and if you're not pulling correctly, it could become really bad for everybody and stuff like that. So, you know, maybe I just need to eat my shorts on this one. But we'll see. You know, I'm also very new to the community, so maybe my opinion isn't really well formed, and I'm playing Hunter, which is the easiest class. Guys, that troll rogue over here. He's gonna do Deadmines. I guess you can do Deadmines as Horde. It's just hard. This is very, very hard. Well, actually, as Horde, you could run up from Stranglethorn. And they have an easy Zeppelin. So maybe it's not that hard. Yeah, because Stranglethorn into Westfall. Yeah, Stranglethorn's just right there. You just go around the coast up the top. And the Horde camp is already right there anyway. Yeah, so you just go around. I don't know if there's any quest for him though. I don't know if Sentinel Hill is neutral. Because I know their whole thing is like, oh, we've been abandoned by Stormwind. I might just have to go to Red Ridge until we get to Deadmines. Oh no, I'm dumb. I need to fish some more. No, not Gigabrad. Level 20. That's why I'm a little overleveled for everything, man. Because that's all that matters, is hitting 60. Some might do it faster than others, but I need better healing potions. Pronto. There's a Briar Thorn that I also need. Wait, hold on, this might be a strat. My pet, like, fights faster. I summon him like that when I freaking actually tell him to go fight something. I guess it's back to fishing until we finally find our final dead miner. There's another Briar Thorn in this camp of 17. What happens if I do this? Green tea leaf. pretty long aggro range. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I might have just died. I just died. That was so dumb of me. That was so dumb. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Why did I do that? That was so dumb of me, man. Oh, man. That was so foolish. There was a camp of 9 of them, and I shouldn't have even tried that, man. Why did I think I could do that? Because I was 22 and fast, and I thought I was so strong. And the worst thing is I was dazed because I had cheetah on. So I just got dazed over and over. I could have ran away if I didn't have cheetah on, actually. I just realized. Dude, I just misplayed so incredibly horribly. And I got disconnected from the server, cool. After all I've done, man. I'm in shock right now that I was that dumb. I had just been fishing, did whaling caverns yesterday, had like a 10-hour stream on that character yesterday. I've put so much time into these tunes. I died because I thought I could get that thorn without aggroing. They were 15, I wasn't even 10 levels over them. There was 9 of them. I had cheetah on, so they were gonna daze me infinitely. I could have got away if I didn't have cheetah on. But I had cheetah on. Because I forgot that cheetah makes you dazed whenever you're hit. And I died. I needed to do fishing because I needed to level up because my potions were small and they weren't working anymore. I was also melee attacking one of them, so he was going to follow me even farther. That was just 55 misplays. That was like 4 days. Oh. That wasn't even like me dying to like new content that I haven't seen of like a strong foe or some quest that I didn't think I would be able to do. That was just pure and utter stupidity. That was just hubris, stupidity, all of it. I wasn't paying attention. I'm in like complete awe. I'm in complete awe of that. I don't even know if I want to like use cheetah, man. I'm gonna be real. Like I know that it's me not being good, but oh man, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm in like complete. I'm in like denial stage. I'm going through like the 5 stages of grief right now. I sunk so much time into that character. Did Wailing Caverns. And then I died to Grey Knolls. Because I was trying to get a Briarthorn. Grey Knolls. I mean, yes, it was a lot of them, but... And it wasn't even the Knolls, really, that killed me. I mean, yes, they killed me, but... It's because I had Cheetah on, and I completely forgot that you're dazed when mobs hit you with Cheetah. And I didn't switch to Aspect of the Monkey until I was already at like 10% HP left. I mean, that was the highest I've been yet by far. Went from level 16 to 22. A 6 level increase. But like, none of that matters in a sense of just how dumb that death was, man. Like, that was so stupid. Like, it's like insult to injury. It would have been... It would have been so much better if it was like, I died to like Van Cleef. I didn't even get to go into the dungeon. I didn't even die to like Murlocs that were on level. I died to gray mobs. Because I had Cheetah on. That's the whole reason I was fishing too, is that my potions weren't... I mean, the potion wouldn't have saved me there because I had Cheetah on the entire time, so I was just gonna continue to get clobbered to death. But by gray mobs, man, all for a Briarthorn? Not even like a quest or like a thing. I had just fished for like an hour on that character too. Wailing Caverns, farm Deviant Hides. My brain's in a couple of pieces right now. I'm like so salty with it right now. I'm like so upset at myself for how horrible gameplay that was. I've been talking all day yesterday and all day today when hitting 20 about how awesome Cheetah was. I mean, obviously it's not like the ability's fault, it's my fault, but I should have known that I wasn't going to be smart enough to remember that in combat. I should have just turned it off, kept half aspect of the Hawk on. Because you never know when something's going to happen. Cheetah's just a bait for hubris, at least for me. I can't do that Night Elf starting zone again. Like, I enjoyed Dark Shore, but I can't do Teldrassil again. I haven't even quested in Red Ridge at all. I mean, anything past 20. I was 22, but I hadn't done any content past 20. So I was like kind of ahead of level. I was in like a really good spot. Like it was gonna be some insano mode coasting from here. About a level, 2 levels above everything. Doing some dungeons to keep me ahead. I'm like trying to think right now of, do I start a new character? I have a couple of holidays coming up, and so I'm trying to diffuse that with the saltiness that's in my mind right now of Do I wait a couple of days, take a break, because I've done these starting zones so much, I've played Hunter so much, died over and over. That was probably the worst death by far. Not only was it the highest level death and the most time invested character, and my most enjoyed character, it was also the most pitiful excuse of gameplay wit. I mean, that was like pathetic. And so, like, the anger in me is like, you have to get to 23s a day to like make up for that. The other part of me is like, nah, man, like, take a break, cool down. Part of me's thinking, do I play another class? Just something. Yeah, I know, like, in theory, Hunter's the easiest, but like, I think mentality is also important. I don't know if I have like the mentality required to play Hunter at like maximum efficiency. It was just so dumb of me to have Cheetah on, because like Cheetah obviously has a huge drawback, and I completely forgot about its like drawback, because Hawk and Monkey don't have drawbacks. Only Cheetah does, and I got killed because of that. Like, I shouldn't even be talking about any achievements or challenges or anything. I can't even make it to 30. I'm dying to gray mobs. I died to gray mobs. I'm so sick and tired of the alliance zones. And I had even said I usually die in the morning streams, and there it was, but it wasn't even a leveling thing, man. Ugh. This is brutal. I should have gone to Red Ridge and just quested. But I mean, that wasn't even really the issue. I'm gonna be real. I know it's like not the tone I should take. But I'm not gonna use Aspect of the Cheetah. Not because I think it's a bad ability, but because I don't think I'm good enough to use it correctly. I'm not going to remember to switch in a pivotal moment to Hawk or Monkey. And I'm gonna die again just like that if I use it. Plus I can use those 2 extra points. Sure, I'll go through the world slower, but I mean, if you think about it this way, I'll be going through the world as fast as any other character that isn't Hunter. So I'm not really losing time in comparison. Before I was gaining time. But I'm not even going to buy it now. And then I can take those 2 talent points, put them somewhere else that's actually going to work with the way I play. These alliance zones are really bad, man. Like, just straight up. The dwarf starting zone is good. Lochmadon is terrible. Westfall's fun, but it's also scary. Like, half of me really just wants to switch to Horde, to be honest. I know Horde better, I like Horde better. I'm also not, like, exhausted of Horde as I am with Alliance. Like, I'm just exhausted with Alliance. I've played so many Dwarves and Night Elves. And you, on all 3 of them, you have to go to the human zones regardless. All of their zones are completely interconnected. If you don't want to on Undead, you don't have to go to the Barrens. Until at all, really, if you don't want to. I mean, at a certain point you might have to, but like, that's the beauty of Horde, is like you choose, right? I mean, if you're a troll or a Tauren or an Orc, you don't get the choice, but you're in the Barrens until like 25, and I kind of enjoy that. I like the Barrens, I know the Barrens. I guess I'm trying to learn, but I didn't even die. That's what I'm saying. I'm still salty because I didn't even die to learning something. I just died to hubris and like mistake. I don't know the Horde players at all. Like, I don't know anybody that's on Horde. And I really don't know if I want to do Warrior. I mean, Hunter again. Ooh, this is the most defeated I've been in a pretty minute. Ooh. Maybe warrior. I know it's even harder than hunter, but I feel like maybe I'm not realizing how many times I was saved on hunter because I died to something foolish. I'm just in a state of disbelief, I guess. I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna go get something to eat, take a shower, and then maybe come back.